Spider-Man finally sues J. Jonah Jameson for defamation. Before the lawsuit trial, Peter would celebrate the news with MJ and says he could give the money to charity or spend it all. On the hearing day, Jen and Pug discuss the case until the son of J. Jonah Jameson, John Jameson, arrives to testify. Spidey's lawyer Pug says that Spider-Man saved countless lives and John Jameson was the first. John claims that his space capsule lost control and was on a collision course with Earth, but Spider-Man found him and saved his life. Pug tells the court that after the incident, John's father Jonah ran a front-page story claiming that Spider-Man sabotaged the launch, but John Jameson himself denounces the accusation. Pug holds a newspaper showing the lies and says that each time these stories would wind up being false. Jonah tries to put the blame on Peter Parker for taking the photos, but gets shut down as more witnesses come up to testify against Jonah for being corrupt. Jonah tells his lawyer to think of something, but the courtroom doors open as Spider-Man swings in to testify. Jonah protests and says this is insane that Spidey is hiding behind a mask and nobody's doing anything, asking how they know if it's really Spider-Man. Spidey's lawyer Pug presents the Avengers issue scanner, which he uses to scan Spider-Man's mask, proving it's really him. Later, Pug would show a bunch of Daily Bugle stories, which Spider-Man would go on to debunk, leading Pug to finally ask him why Jonah hates him so much. And Spider-Man says the real reason Jonah hates him so much is because he's actually black under the mask. J. Jonah Jameson would panic and try to say some of his best friends are black, but Spidey interrupts him and says he's just kidding, leading the entire courtroom to erupt into laughter. Jameson's lawyer Richmond stands up and claims that Spider-Man was harassing Jonah all along, but Spidey says he was just getting back at him for all the lies he was spreading. However, Richmond reminds him that he had a hand in causing the rise of Venom and Carnage. Spidey steps down and Jonah gets questioned. Jonah claims that Spider-Man is the one who caused the rise of all his villains, but Pug reminds him he's the one who funded projects which created some of those villains. On the second day of the trial, Parker gets questioned and ends up getting pulled into the lawsuit for staging photographs and helping Jonah, leading Spider-Man to later visit his lawyers and say he wants to settle and drop the entire lawsuit. But only on one condition: Peter Parker and Jonah Jameson would have to hand out public apologies while dressed in chicken suits. Jonah bursts into laughter, but his lawyer reminds him of the $300 million lawsuit. Eventually, both Parker and Jonah end up dressing up as chickens and humiliate themselves in front of the Daily Bugle building.